Now, let's start to work on the direct quote and the indirect quote. I think this subject is pretty kind of a difficult when you're dealing with it. First, let's look at what the difference between these two. The direct quote, for example, $1.4 for European for euro, right? Is a direct quote, which represents the value a euro in dollars. How many dollars per euro? Now, when you write, you do not put the per euro in it. But since all the foreign exchange rate involve with two currencies, one domestic, the other one foreign, right? In most cases, but you also can dealing with cross rate, foreign versus another foreign. You always a pair of currencies. If the price for that particular foreign currency here is in dollar term, we call it direct quote. Now think about the currency just like a banana. How much it costs you to buy one banana? The most common use in mathematical analysis, we always use direct quote, right? Now, the indirect quote, as a matter of fact, is the inverse of direct quote, which represents the number of units of a foreign currency per domestic dollar. Now, in our early example, the direct quote is $1.4 per euro. How many euro per dollar? You just 1 divided by 1.4. Now, it's the inverse. You flip A, B. 1 divided by AB equal to B over A. Here, you have 0.7143 euro per dollar. So mathematically, you need to do a just inverse. Now think about that way. Direct quote, just look at the what the value is. In most commonly used, you buy something, how much is it in US dollar term? Indirect quote is the inverse image, the opposite image. Now let's look at the next one example. Let's look at euro first. The direct quote, this I think is the latest, this is from textbook, 1.031 direct quote. Indirect quote is 1 divided by direct quote is 0.97. Now this one is in terms of US dollars per euro, right? Now this one is in terms of euro per dollar, 0.97. Okay. Now let's look at the other one. The last one, look at British pound, UK pound. Direct quote is 1.5 dollar per pound. How much pound you have per dollar? 1 divided by that, indirect quote, right? Is pound is 0.67 per dollar. Now, I circle euro and pound. These are the two currency usually quote directly. Now let's look at the ending period price. Foreign exchange rate fluctuates. The beginning period like this, ending period. Ending period euro is equal to 1.064. That's direct quote. So if given information, beginning 1.03, ending 1.06, what they'll tell you? You say the euro price goes up. It is appreciating, going up. Now let's look at UK pounds. 1.5 ended with 1.6, so it's also going up. Now, direct quote is pretty straightforward. But on the other hand, if you're looking at indirect quote, you find euro, the price euro 0.097 beginning price, the dollar price is 0.94. The dollar price, as a matter of fact, this one shows you the ending price, the indirect quote, the price goes down, the euro goes down. Now that's it's not it does not show you the appreciation, it seems a depreciation. As a matter of fact, it showed the depreciation of US dollars. It's the mirror image. But sometimes people might not used to that. Let's look at another example. The commonly used is Japanese yen. As we said, Japanese yen, if you're looking at direct quote, it's pretty tiny number. So the first quotation, 0.009, is direct quote. But usually we quote indirectly. 111.11 yen per dollar. This is the beginning price. Ending price, it's 103. The beginning is 111. The ending price 103. Which one high, which one's low? You're thinking, wow, that's 103 is low. 103, 11 is high. Is that Japanese yen depreciate or appreciate? But this one show you US dollar is depreciate. And Japanese yen, look at direct quote, is 0.009. The ending price is 0.0097, so it's going up. Japanese yen actually goes up. But the indirect quote give you opposite, because indirect quote reflect the reverse image, which is the dollar, right? Mexican peso, direct quote, 0.12 at the beginning, and with 0.11. So you know the price go down. We say Mexican peso goes down. But if you indirect quote, in most cases indirect quote, 8.33 peso per dollar, ended with 9.09 peso pay for the Mexican peso. It's going up. Now, finally, let's look at the Canadian dollars. Canadian dollar in this case beginning at 0.66 and ending at 0.70. 0.70. This is a direct quote, right? So Canadian dollar is appreciating. The banana price is going up, right? But Canadian dollar usually quote indirectly. 1.51 ending with 1.43. Now, those are the price of dollar. Dollar goes down. But people usually ask, how about Canadian dollars? Is the Canadian currency going up, going down? But it shows you dollar goes down, Canadian dollar goes up. But did you see the difference there? Okay. Now, let me just go back to look at the price quotation from that, let's say, San Francisco Airport, International Airport, the price quoted. They are all quoted here. One is asking bid and ask. First one is bid and ask. They are all in indirect quote. They are all in terms of first Canadian dollar per dollar, Canadian dollar per US dollar. Second, Chinese yen per US dollar, 6.3. Euro here also is in terms of US dollars, right? Now, how do you analyze? Since the indirect quote, which one should you use? Earlier we said in early access we said that indirect quote we always do as a consumer, you buy high, sell low. But if you're looking at the opposite, your strategy is opposite, because the inverse nature of those ratio, we can say if you look at indirect quote like this, as a consumer, you buy high, you sell low. I'm sorry, you buy low, sell high. So in order you buy Chinese dollar, you pay 6.9. You sell Chinese dollar, you at 7.31. But this one shows you that how do you using those price quotation. But mostly when you do data analysis, when you do finance, you always analyze, look at the historic trend, look at short period trend, long-term average, to try to get out what the future will look like. And the direct quote versus indirect quote exchange rate over time sometimes will give you very confusing way if it's quoted indirectly. Then we're talking about euro is appreciating. That means euro in terms of dollars going up. When we say euro depreciating downwards, that means it's going down. Let's look at the textbook examples. The first one is direct quote. The U.S. dollar 1.4, ended with a year later when it's close to 1.2. So here's the trend. Euro value go down, so we see euro depreciating. But the same data, if we look at the inverse, remember it's a mirror image, right? In indirect quote, it looked like this. From 0.8 euro per dollar jump to 1, for example. But the error is going up. So is that appreciate or depreciate? For euro, it is still depreciate, but because the US dollar appreciate. Here to show you US dollar in terms of euro going up, but euro in terms of US dollar going down. That's why sometimes when you do the analysis, do not mix them together. All right. Here, the example, you just go to Google some data. I'm just listing some interesting four currency. The first one is euro. 1 euro equal, they quote you today's 4th of July. The price is US dollar is 1.12. So it's direct quote. $1.12 per euro. Now let's look at the past 5 years data. So it's going from 1.1 going up, the value going up, then going down in 2017, getting up in probably end of 2017, beginning of 2018, then the next 2 or 3 years is actually going down. We say the euro is devaluating. Now, devaluating usually means their goods be cheaper, right? It will encourage export, okay? That particular company's export. All right. Now let's look at this one. So we will see that the past 3 years is going devaluating, but is pushed back again. U.S. government, you will not let you constantly reduce your currency, because that will beef up your exporting, hurting their importing. Now let's look at the next one. The price quotation, 1 US dollar, right? The price is 107.52 Japanese yen per dollar. That is the indirect quote. Because every term you quoted here in the YX are all in Japanese yen. From the 2015 to 2017, the first one, you see that? Going down from 130 drop to 100. From 130 to 100, is Japanese yen become stronger, appreciating, or become weaker? actually stronger, right? In around like a 2016, 2017, $100, 100 Japanese yen by $1. See, 2 years ago you need a 120, like a 20% appreciation. So just the opposite. So this part actually is stronger. This part become weaker, right? And become weaker. Now you have something to do about trade balance. There are a lot of negotiating and maneuver between Japanese yen and U.S. dollars. That was another story. We'll talking about that later. So that is when you do analysis. Don't if it's indirect quote, you're looking at the opposite. Looking at the opposite value. Go this way, going down this way, from left to right. This one actually appreciating Japanese yen. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Look at this one. Is the Canadian dollars per US. So 1.36 Canadian dollar per US dollar. Is it direct quote, indirect quote? It's indirect quote. So indirect quote, let's look at the trend between 2018 up to now. It's going up, right? Is it Japanese, Canadian, just looking at a trend, okay? Time trend. Looking at it like an annual moving average, you are looking at upwards. Is Canadian dollar stronger in terms of dollar or weaker? Since it's indirect quote, actually it's weaker. Okay. So the indirect quote, sometimes you need to think about the other way. You put it like a upside down. Okay. Interesting. I put a one thing in it on the in this analysis. Look at what the exchange rate is. 9,073.16 US dollar per Bitcoin. It's not foreign currency. It's a cyber currency. Bitcoin. Now, it's not really foreign currency. It's digital money. But you will see that it's really took off in 2018. But going down, then going up. Lately, coming back a little bit. So this is kind of it's kind of very interesting currency, right? Interest currency will ever be really used by the average people? I don't think so, because as we know, central government have a important tool for the monetary policy is foreign exchange rate. Right? They won't let the individual really take hold. You need to control money supply that part. So you can looking at those everyday data easily to just look at the Morningstar. This is from Morningstar, the web page. So indirect quote really will give people the opposite image as what you expect in most cases. Then you might argue we should be using direct quote. Everything should be direct quote. As a matter of fact, except those Bitcoin, there are only 4 major currencies using direct quote. They are Euro, British pound, Australian dollar, and a New Zealand dollar. In most cases, they quote direct quote. All the rest of it are indirect quote. To avoid any confusion, and particularly when you do derivative security analysis, is a price move up, a price move down. Sometimes you're using call option, sometimes using put option. Using indirect quote to give you just the opposite. It suggests look like a call option. As a matter of fact, it is the put option. So it's very confusing. So my rule of thumb is, particularly for beginners, this is my suggestion. Always use the direct foreign exchange quote, particularly in your graphical analysis. Always direct quote. Or even sometimes like Japanese yen, Korean won, the number is so big, just using 1 divide by that. Yeah, okay. Like Bitcoin is too big. Bitcoin is not really foreign currency. I was thinking about everything should be in currency. Then you do the direct quote. Okay, it's always using direct quote when you do your analysis. Okay. Uh, Now let's look at as far as a price quotation. There are other type of way, printed press like Wall Street Journal or sometimes like Bloomberg. They are using pairwise two currency symbols. The first one, for example, like a GBP, British Pound slash USD or per USD. The first one they called base currency. I'm sorry, it's not per US. Versus, not per, versus USD. USD is quoted currency. So if British pound versus USD equal to 2, that means 2 USD per British pound. Let me say it again. The slash here is not per, okay? It's just a versus, okay? So you're looking at numerator, denominator, whatever the denominator, the last one is quoted currency. The first one is what the foreign currency you're dealing with. So in case of this, the next one, USD divided by JPY versus JPY, 107. That 107 is Japanese yen per US dollars. It takes 107.59 Japanese yen to buy 1 US dollars. So that one, remember that you always looking in those type of price quotation. You're always looking at the denominator. The second one is the currency sign of that quotation. There are among the 10 most traded currency are US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, British pound, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Franc's symbol is CHF. Okay, CHF. Chinese renminbi or Chinese yuan is CNH. Or CNY is some kind of, offshore trading. When it's offshore trading, saying that there's a difference in Swedish krona, SEK, New Zealand dollar, NYZ. And here, euro, British pound, Australian, New Zealand dollar, that 4 is direct quote. All the rest of it, another 4 or 5, they are all indirect quote. That is true here where I'm using Bloomberg's 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago. Now using those quotation, base versus quotes. Is that direct quote, indirect quote 1.12? Oh, that is direct quote because the quoted currency is USD. Okay. Now next one, USD versus JPY. Direct quote, indirect quote. Now this is Japanese yen, the indirect quote. We know the Japanese yen can be a big, more than 100, always more than 100. That is Japanese. The show is the indirect quote. British pound, direct quote, USD Canadian, 1.36. Now that is indirect quote in terms of Canadian dollars, right? USD versus CHF. What is CHF? Okay, Swiss franc. Okay. Now here, like USD Hong Kong dollars or euro versus Swiss franc. Swiss franc, they are pretty close. close to like a 1%. But what is this number? 1.0649. Is it euro or Swiss franc? Swiss franc, using our method. Because the next one, the second symbol is the quoted symbol. So 1.06 Swiss franc equal to 1 euro. The last one, KRW, is Korean won. Korean, part of the Asian economy, pretty strong in the electronics. Look at that. 1204.65. Is it US dollar per one or one per US dollar? Obviously, is indirect quote. Okay. If that number is huge, usually it's indirect quote. As a matter of fact, the majority are indirect quote. Okay. Here's the last price quotation from my favorite one. Favorite here, Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance here, they quote like this. BTC USD. Oh, USD is the quoted currency is 9,000 something, right? Direct quote. So you see, direct quote, direct quote, direct quote, indirect quote, direct quote, direct quote, direct quote. All the rest of it indirect quote now, right? So those are the price quotation you pay attention to. In summary, when you do your analysis, always use direct quote. Although in real life, they are quoted indirectly. But sometimes the mirror image will give you some kind of the opposite feelings. So avoid the confusion, stick with direct quote.